And when he comes, he will take up his residence in a place called Nazareth in order to be called a Nazarene. Jesus fulfilled every element of the royal decree of God. He is king in every sense. He is king by birth. He is king by decree. He is king by lineage. He is king by character. He is king by homage and worship. Jenny Hussey, many years ago, in the hymn so familiar to us, wrote these words, which give us the proper response. King of my life, I crown thee now. Thine shall the glory be.
That's John Macarthur, president of the Masters University and Seminary, looking at the royal heritage and birth of Jesus. This is a part of John's current study on Grace to You titled The Best of Christmas. Now, while it may seem unusual to hear John talking about Christmas when we're barely into the month of November, there is good reason. You've said before, John, there really is a heightened receptivity to spiritual things at Christmas, which translates into wonderful opportunities for our listeners between now and December the 25th.
Yeah, I've always believed that, strange as it seems in our terribly secular world, the world sort of turns and looks at Jesus Christ every Christmas. Look, we don't want to say that Christmas, as celebrated in our country or any other country, is what it should be. It's a lot about a whole lot of things that don't matter and have nothing to do with Christ. But in the middle of all of that, there is no question that there is a focus on the birth of the King. That means that you're going to have opportunity to enter into conversation starting probably pretty soon and running right through the Christmas season. We would love to help you be effective at that. So I want to let you know that we have a book available called God's Gift of Christmas. God's Gift of Christmas. It is a tool that you can use to communicate the true significance of the birth of Christ to your friends and family. Beautifully designed. It's so well done, it'll draw the reader in, and the truth inside will make them think about the truth. Compact hardcover book, 120 pages, available from Grace to You. And by the way, for a limited time, nearly all our resources, including the book God's Gift of Christmas, are available at 25% off the regular price. We want to do that so that you can begin even now to think about Christmas gifts that are more precious than anything else, giving people the truth of God. So get a copy of God's Gift of Christmas. Read it. You might want to get even more to give to folks during this season. It's affordably priced as always.
This book is ideal to place into the hands of someone that you've been talking with about Christ and the salvation that Christ offers. And the sale makes it a perfect time to pick up a few copies. Get your copy of God's Gift of Christmas as you contact us today. That book currently costs $9 and shipping is still free. You can order that, a copy for yourself, and perhaps a few extras to give away. Call our toll-free number, 1-800-55-GRACE. or order at the website gty.org. And God's Gift of Christmas isn't the only Bible study tool currently available for 25% off the regular price. You can get nearly all of John's books, including the popular trio of character studies called 12 Ordinary Men, 12 Extraordinary Women, and 12 Unlikely Heroes, as well as the Macarthur Study Bible, Daily Bible, and Topical Bible. And this sale is an ideal time for you to start your Christmas shopping and give your loved ones gifts that will spiritually encourage them all year long. Take advantage of the sale today. Visit our website, gty.org, or call our helpful customer service staff at 800-55-GRACE. That number translates to 800-554-7223. And now, on behalf of John Macarthur and the staff, I'm Carl Miller. Thanks for making the broadcast a part of your day. Please invite a friend to join you here tomorrow as John shows you the power of Christmas truth. Another 30 minutes of unleashing God's truth, one verse at a time, on Grace to You.
And so right where they stood, God said, I don't want a rock that you're not standing on. I don't want a rock that you're not standing on. I can't use a rock that you didn't stand on. It is not the rock by itself, but it is the combination of rock and feet, truth and conviction. Every place where the priest's feet stood firm, take a rock. So when all of the children of Israel had passed over to the other side, God said, take a rock where the feet of the priest stood firm, because I'm going to turn your moment into a memorial. A memorial is something you remember. A memorial is something you teach your children. A memorial is a standard that sets you apart from other people. A memorial is your story, your history, your destiny, your legacy is all tied up to a bunch of rocks. Look at somebody and say, it's all about the stones. The stones, the stones, the stone. Don't leave it till you get your stone. Don't leave it till you get your stone. You need something to prove to the world. I was there when God made a way out, and I was there when the tides began to turn. I was there when the NFL offered an apology. I was there when the statues began to fall. I was there when they banded the Confederate flag. I was there. I was standing. I was standing right there. I was standing right there. I was standing right there. And the Bible said that the priests were forbidden to leave the Jordan without the stones. Too many times we leave our Jordan without getting our stones. Too many times we're just glad to get by and we don't get nothing out of it. Don't go into a meeting you don't get nothing out of. Don't let anybody take up your time with something you don't get nothing out of. God said, I didn't take you through all of this for you to not get something out of it. Get something out of it before you leave. Now imagine the waters are standing on ahead and we're running out of time. And the priests who already got a load got to reach down and get a stone. The stones are so important that God added more weights. This is the weight of glory. Glory costs you something. Glory is heavy on your shoulders. Glory, oh, y'all, I got to quit. Glory adds to your load. Hallelujah. But they carried it out. They're carrying stones in mud. They're carrying stones along with religious artifacts. They're carrying stones weighted down with the armor of their garment. But they carried it anyway because God said, your children need to see your stone. Even as I preach here today, my youngest son is standing here to my side. I want him to see my stones. Know that your daddy is a fighter. Know that your daddy will step in a building and fight by myself. I want you to understand that a crowd does not define you. That if God be for you, he's more than the world against you. And when all hell is breaking loose, you just stand. Somebody holler, stand. This is something you can't get out of a book. It's got to be modeled in front of you. You got to see it in your life. You got to be able to point at it. You got to have enough sense to recognize it. And there ain't nothing but stones. There ain't even books, but they're teaching a class. Take these stones and pile them up where you live. So that when your children pass by and say, what mean of these stones? You tell them, baby, it's all about the stones. It's not about the jewelry. It's not about the gold. It's not about the bank account. It's not about the silver. It's not about the money. It's not about the house. It's about the stones. If you got the stones, you can build a house. If you got the stones, you can get the gold. If you got the stones, you can get the silver. It's all about the stones. It's the stones you got. It's the fight you got. It's the stand up you got. It's the force you got. It's the tenacity you got. It's the fight you got. It's the drive you got. It's the relentlessness you got. And you got to stand there though they keep slapping on you, talking about you, laughing at you, lying on you, trying to kill you. You just stand. And so I preach this message today to say it's all about the stones. Because the Bible said, when your children ask you, what meaneth these stones? Tell them how the Lord was with them when you were in the middle, in the middle of the Jordan. That is the message. The stones are the message that are transgenerational. It is the stones of the 60s that the 2020s stand on. If we hadn't have done what we did, you couldn't do what you're doing. So it's not a competition, it's a collaboration. It's not this is better than that, it's this and that. It's not either or, it's and both. Every liberty in this country has been controversial. Women coming out of the kitchen was controversial. Getting the right to vote for a woman was controversial. Women used to be considered property. It was controversial. They whipped their women like they whipped their children because a woman was a child until women got tired of it and they fought back. I'm talking about white women and brown women and black women and poor women and rich women got together and demanded that they were human, not just sex objects, not just deposit boxes, not just something for you to drop a baby into. Women insisted that you accept the fact that they were brilliant and were competitive, but it was controversial, and it's still controversial, and they're still fighting, and it ain't over yet, but they made good ground. This country was controversial. It was born out of conflict. It was born out of warfare. I hate debate. I hate the wrestling. I hate the struggling. I hate the looting. I hate the drama. I hate the confusion, but if it wasn't for that, there wouldn't be America.